again, everybody. Welcome back to our accessible online review and tutorial for the DOST SEI Scholarship Exam. I am Leon Marie A. Loreto, your lecturer for English. And we're now in the second and also the last part of our series on the English subtest. And we will talk about reading comprehension and vocabulary in this video. Part 1 is already posted on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. So if you haven't watched it yet, please do check it out. Okay? So let's begin. Okay. So unlike the first video, our discussion for today will be focusing more on strategies and tips that may help you in preparation for the reading comprehension items and the vocabulary items in the exam. As I've said in the previous video, the reading comprehension items constitute most of the items in the English subtest, and the vocabulary items are usually integrated into it. So it is very important that we develop reading comprehension skills because it has a huge impact on our score for the English subtest. So first, I'm going to share some strategies in preparation for the exam. So let's start by defining what reading comprehension is. Reading comprehension, to define simply, is your ability to understand what you are reading. And technically, vocabulary is key to reading comprehension because you can only understand a text if you understand the words used in the text. Okay? So we can understand the text better if we are exposed to the English language. So there are 4 core language skills that schools have always tried to develop in us, and these skills allow for the development of reading comprehension skills and the widening of our vocabulary. Here I'm going to highlight how important it is for us to develop these skills because we use these skills everywhere we go. So we might as well develop them further. So number 1 is listening. Listening is a brain input skill. We acquire new words, new messages, ideas, and etc. through listening. In preparation for the exam, you can make it a habit to listen to speeches by notable people like Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream, or even podcasts, audiobooks, and etc. Even listening to adults talk or simply the news can help. If you hear a word that's unfamiliar to you, look it up immediately and use it in sentences or when conversing with others. Okay? Number 2, speaking. Speaking is a brain output skill. Our aim in speaking is to be understood by the people we are communicating to. So in preparation for the exam, you can make it a daily practice to engage in simple English discourse with your siblings or your friends or parents or even yourself, just to harness the words or ideas you have. Okay? Number 3 is reading. Of course, you can't develop reading comprehension skills without reading. Reading is a brain input skill, like listening, but in this case, in a written format. Now, I have to break it to you. If you're not fond of reading, well, you have no choice but to read. Well, the good news is that the literary world offers numerous genres that you are bound to find something that interests you. You can follow through with reading plans online if you want. You can even read that book you were required to read in junior high school, but didn't. Yeah. So number 4, writing. Writing is a brain output skill. It's similar to speaking, because our aim in writing is also to be understood by the people we are communicating to. In this case, in a written format. In writing, you can practice your reading comprehension. You can try to make it a habit to write about the films you like or just anything under the sun. It doesn't have to be long. In fact, you can write for a good 5 minutes without editing it yet. Just let your words flow and then just edit it later. Okay, so those are basic activities that you can do in preparation for the exam. Now, for strategies during the day of the exam, I found a helpful video by Learn English Lab. That's a YouTube channel. In this video, I will only be relaying his key points, but if you want to watch his whole lecture, I have provided a link on the description box below. Alright? So the length of passages vary. There are long passages and short passages. Also, the number of questions for each passage varies, but these strategies work the same. Okay? Step 1. Skim the text. Skimming means that you read the text rapidly, especially to find the main idea of the text. So you can do this by reading the headings or subheadings, if there are any, and also the first sentences of each paragraph, because this is where main ideas are often found. You don't have to read it slowly and surely at first, because the tendency is you'll just forget about the important details. Now we should take note that this exam is fast-paced. Okay, so just skim so that you're not entirely lost when you go to step 2. So step 2 is read and understand the questions fully. Okay, what do we need to find? Okay, and then answer the easiest question first. Now we have questions that don't require so much thinking because they are already stated in the text. So you can answer them first. Okay? So later I'm going to outline the common questions for reading comprehension. Next, step 3, read the text and find your answers. And step 4, move to the next item. Okay? If one item is proving to be hard and is taking up much of your time already, you can skip it because there may be easier questions later. You can return to these questions if you have time, and if you don't, you can make an educated guess because you'll have a 25% chance anyway. The important thing is you don't leave an item blank. Okay? So those are some strategies you can try. Okay? As promised, here are some common questions involved in reading comprehension items. Number 1, getting the main idea. Okay, main ideas, as I've said earlier, are often found at the beginning of paragraphs, but they can also be found in the concluding sentences of a passage. Okay? Number 2, textual evidences. Most of the time, they include questions with answers that are directly stated in the text. So these questions are quite easy, just search the text. Okay? Number 3 is determining the purpose of a sentence. You can be asked to determine whether a sentence is supporting the main idea, providing an example, concluding the paragraph, restating the first sentence, etc. Okay, so my tip for this is to take note of phrasal clues like for example or to conclude or something like that. Okay? Number 4, paragraph development. A paragraph can develop in various ways that reflect how the author wants you to see ideas. Okay? It can have a cause effect, a problem solution, a definition by example, a comparison contrast, or a time order paragraph development. Okay? Number 5, infographics. Infographics are visual representations which aim to simplify complex subjects into understandable formats. So you can be asked to determine what kind of infographic is suited for the passage. Okay? Finding out the type of paragraph development used is key to determining the kind of infographic suited for a passage. Okay? So number 6, tone of the author or mood of the text. Sometimes you can be asked to identify the attitude of the author or the mood of the text. Usually, these are questions that follow after poems, but it can also be asked for essays, stories, and other text. Number 7 is inferencing. Okay, an inference is a conclusion that is drawn from evidences in the text and from reasoning. And number 8, vocabulary. Like I said, vocabulary items are usually integrated into the reading comprehension items. So you can be asked to determine the meaning of a word found in the text. Now, if you don't know the meaning of the word, you can use context clues to help you in determining the meaning. Okay? Okay, so that's all that I have for reading comprehension and the vocabulary. So it really just depends on whether or not you apply these tips and strategies during the day of the exam and also in preparation for the exam. And this series is by no means a comprehensive review, just the things that I think are fundamental to your preparation. I hope that you got something from this review, and my desire, aside from you passing the scholarship exam, is that these efforts will prepare you for the future in general. Okay, so thank you and God bless.